Yo, you think you know Billie Eilish? Think again. What if I told you she worked at a stable just to ride horses because her family was broke?
I worked at a horse camp, as the counselor for 2 years at the stables. Did jumping and everything, all that. That was a while ago.
That she sees music in colors.
Because I have synesthesia. And if you don't know what synesthesia is, basically when one sense triggers another sense in your head. So for instance, every day of the week has a certain color. Every number has a certain shape. So I match everything with a color, with a number, with a day of the week, with a shape, it's weird.
That her neighbor turned out to be an FBI target. And that a 4-year-old kid named her Pirate? I spent hours digging through interviews, documentaries, and deep archives to find facts that 99% of fans have never heard. These aren't your basic did you know facts. This is the real Billie Eilish story. Let's go. 20. Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell. Yeah, you heard that right. Pirate is literally part of her legal name. But here's the crazy part. A 4-year-old chose that name. Her brother Phineas was 4 when baby Billie was born, and he just decided, yep, I'm calling her Pirate. And it stuck, legally.
Billie Eilish. Eilish is my middle name, actually. Pirate was supposed to be my actual first name. My uncle didn't like it. And then Baird is my mom's last name, O'Connell's my dad's. So.
The name Eilish almost became her first name. Her parents watched a documentary about Irish conjoined twins named Katie and Eilish, and fell in love with it. Billie came from her grandfather Bill, who died while her mom was pregnant. But wait, it gets deeper. Because the same brother who named her Pirate, he's the one who changed her entire life. And I'm about to tell you how. 19. November 2015. Billie is 13. Her brother Phineas calls her into his bedroom. He wrote a song called Ocean Eyes for his high school band, but realized, wait, this would sound better in my sister's voice. They recorded in his bedroom. Not a studio, a bedroom. They upload it to SoundCloud so her dance teacher can choreograph a routine. Next morning, over 1,000 plays.
A week after Ocean Eyes came out on SoundCloud with a free download link, Phineas called me. I was in a Starbucks. I was in between dance classes, and he was like, "Dude, our song has 1,000 plays." I remember the moment feeling like, this is my moment. This is my minute of fame or whatever people say, and this is the best thing that will ever happen to me. Obviously things changed, and I can't be more grateful for that song. It's crazy that any of this happened.
By the end of the week, record labels are blowing up their phone. But here's what nobody talks about. That dance teacher never got to choreograph the routine, because right after they recorded Ocean Eyes, Billie's entire world collapsed, literally.
You really know how to make me cry when you give me those oceans.
18. Picture this. You're 13. You've been dancing 12 hours a week. You're in the advanced hip-hop class with seniors. You're crushing it. You have dreams of becoming a professional dancer. Then your hip bone separates from your muscle. The doctors call it a growth plate injury. Billie calls it the end of everything she worked for. She couldn't dance anymore. Years of training gone.
The one that took me out for real was, I tore my growth plate in my hip. So basically, the bone in my muscle separated from.
Oh, mama, I'm sorry.
I mean, the bone separated from the muscle. So it's kind of just like a.
It made that exact noise.
Yeah, and the thing is that my whole life been prone to injuries. It's so bad.
But here's the thing about Billie. When one door slammed shut, she didn't just walk through another door. She kicked it off the hinges. Music wasn't plan B. It became plan only. And this injury, it messed her up way more than you think. Because it wasn't just her hip. Her entire body started betraying her. For years, doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. She'd have random injuries, chronic pain, treatments that made things worse. She felt like her body was gaslighting her. 17. After years of misdiagnoses, Billie finally got an answer: hypermobility. Her joints move beyond the normal range. Sounds cool, right? Wrong. It caused years of pain that doctors couldn't explain. Massages that help normal people, they made her worse. She said in an interview, "I felt like my body was gaslighting me for years." But hypermobility isn't her only condition. Not even close. because Billie's brain works fundamentally different from most people's, and it affects everything about how she creates. 16. Synesthesia. Her brain automatically assigns colors, shapes, and textures to everything. Every song she hears has a color. Every person she knows has a shape. Phineas? Orange triangle. But the word Phineas? Dark green. Jimmy Fallon? A vertical brown rectangle. The letters M and J? Brown. This isn't just some artistic metaphor. Her brain is literally wired differently.
This is the funny thing about synesthesia, is that it's so specific for me, but like for instance, my dad and my brother both have synesthesia. They have the same thing for people, and they're completely disagree with me. So we'll have conversations where my dad will be like, you know, I'll be like, oh, Tuesday is purple and a circle. My dad is like, no, it's not. It's, you know, orange and it's a square or whatever. And we have arguments about what is what.
Every music video she makes, every album cover, every live performance, the colors aren't random. They're what she sees when she experiences that song. But synesthesia isn't the only way her brain works differently. 15. Auditory processing disorder. Billie's brain doesn't process sounds like yours does. It's hard for her to listen and absorb information through hearing. In a normal classroom, she'd be lost. That's one of the main reasons her parents homeschooled her. But here's the genius part. To compensate, she developed a superhuman sense of smell. As a kid, she could flare her nostrils and track a smell across an entire house to find an apple. That's why she started collecting perfumes from fans at shows. It's not just quirky, scent is literally how she remembers people and places. Speaking of her childhood, her education was nothing like you'd imagine. 14. Not even for one day. Billie never stepped foot in a traditional school until she was 17. Homeschooled from day one. She learned math by cooking with her mom. How much goes into this? That's how she learned fractions.
One thing about you, quickly, is you were homeschooled. And look,
Yes.
people have different opinions on what homeschooling is. But would you be where you are and who you are now if you went to a regular school?
No. I don't, honestly, I really don't think I would. And I don't know, I mean, I can't say why because I've never actually been to school, so I can't tell you it's better, I can't tell you it's worse. I really can't say anything, but I think homeschooling for me was such a powerful thing and powerful force in my life because it let me not have to just memorize something to memorize it and then memorize the next thing to memorize it. And you never use it. What the heck? What am I supposed to do with this times what? Like, who cares? Who cares about math? Anyway.
She graduated high school at 15 by passing her equivalency exam. And her parents' decision to homeschool? It was inspired by the weirdest thing. 13. Yeah, the Mbop guys. Her dad, Patrick, read an article about Hanson. These homeschooled Oklahoma kids who became massive. He thought they were allowed to pursue what they were interested in. Phineas was born the same year Mbop dropped. That article changed the entire family's philosophy. But homeschooling for Billie wasn't just about education, it was survival. Because growing up, she wasn't just dealing with learning differences, she was dealing with real trauma. 12. Billie didn't have money for riding lessons, so she worked at the stable to earn them.
I grew up as riding horses, but I grew up with no money, and if you have no money, you get absolutely nowhere with horses, and so I literally couldn't afford it at all, so I worked at the barn for 2 years, and it was exhausting. It was a lot of work, and in exchange for that, I got lessons and stuff, and then after a while, I just felt like there was other things I needed to do. No one was taking me seriously, which is normal. I didn't have money, so why would you?
She fell in love with a black mare named Jackie O. Horses were her therapy, her escape, her peace. But then a wealthier girl wanted to ride Jackie O, and she could actually pay for lessons. Billie had to give her up. She quit riding completely because she couldn't take being the poor girl at the stable. Couldn't watch someone else ride her horse. Even today when she's on tour, she stops by that stable just to visit Jackie O. But this wasn't the only time being broke shaped her childhood. 11. When Billie was growing up, the entire family, Mom, Dad, Billie, and Phineas, lived in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment in Highland Park, LA. Her parents slept in the living room so both kids could have their own rooms. They weren't rich actors with industry connections. Her dad worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week at Mattel, construction work. Her mom was a teacher. But wait, didn't her parents have acting careers? 10. Billie's mom appeared in Friends, The X-Files, Bones, 6 Feet Under.
1. Pick up a bag today.
That's where you pick up the bag.
Exactly.
No, the line is pick up a bag, so you need to pick up the bag.
Coming through you. You lost someone, just like Billie.
She taught improv at the Groundlings.
Not only intriguing but hilarious. Does Mr. Ohms actually think we'd fall victim to e to the y times pi to the x raised to the 0 gambit? Equals 1. Duh. Double duh.
Trained Melissa McCarthy, Will Ferrell, and Kristen Wiig. Her dad was in Iron Man, The West Wing, Baskets.
Hey, would it be all right if everyone sat down? Why don't you just sit down? That way you can see me and I can... A little less formal than...
But here's what Billie says. My dad is the best actor I've ever seen. I wish they'd had more recognition. They had credits but not careers. They were struggling artists who put their dreams on hold for their kids. And speaking of their neighborhood in Highland Park, it was sketchy. 9. Billie's mom once agreed to help neighbors move a safe into her minivan. The second they loaded it in, FBI, Customs, and Homeland Security pulled up.
So I go into the house, and he takes me to a bedroom and he goes, "Can you help us carry this safe?" So I get the safe and we take the safe out and we put it in my minivan and with my 2 kids. And just as I put the safe in the minivan, vroom, 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 FBI, and the next one is Customs, and the next one is Homeland Security.
Her parents had been living next to criminals the entire time and had no idea. Highland Park wasn't all bad though. It's where Billie discovered her first creative passion. Before music, before dance, it was something most people don't know about. 8. Her first real song was called Fingers Crossed. She was 11. Her mom's songwriting class assignment? Watch a TV show and write down lines that could be lyrics.
Everybody makes it till they don't, and everybody wants to think they want.
Billie watched The Walking Dead and wrote a song about the zombie apocalypse. Most people think it's a heartbreak song. Nope, it's about zombies. Before she was a songwriter though, she had another creative outlet that most fans have never heard about. 7. Before fame, young Billie did background dialogue for major movies. You know when crowd scenes are filmed silently and the noise is added later? That was Billie. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Ramona and Beezus, X-Men series. She liked it because she didn't have to audition with the psychopath kid actors. But voice acting wasn't going to be her future. Music was. And the way it happened? Completely random. And it almost didn't happen because of one thing. 6. One of Billie's fans drew a picture of her with blacked out eyes, crying black tears. Billie loved it, gave it to her director David Myers. That fan art directly inspired the When the Party's Over music video.
And I could lie, say I like it like that, like it like that.
The iconic image of black liquid pouring from her eyes? That came from a fan. Speaking of iconic imagery, let's talk about why she never smiles in photos. 5. This isn't just an edgy aesthetic choice. Billie genuinely hates smiling. She says, "It makes me feel weak and powerless and small." When someone smiles at her, she feels forced to smile back, and she hates it. The title of her debut EP isn't random. It's a literal request.
What I really appreciate about that EP, it's like very young people, you know? Wrote half of it when I was 13, 14, and then put it out when I was 15, and Phineas was 17, 18, 19. Like young little babies that had no experience at all. I look back and I'm like, oh, I can't even. But what I do feel about it is that we were so experimental and we were so eager to try stuff and we were so eager to do anything. We were, you know, we would have an idea and be like, why don't we just try it, even if it's weird? And I appreciate that about the EP.
But here's something that might surprise you. Despite this dark image, Billie is actually pretty straight edge. 4. Never tried drugs. Doesn't drink alcohol. Been vegan since 2014. She wrote Zanny about how pills are stupid and she means it.
I don't need a Zanny to feel better.
She curses constantly in real life but doesn't curse in her songs.
I don't know, I have like a resting bitch face, you know, if I
It's fucking huge.
it's fucking like sad, I'm like, I know, I have to be in this bitch all the time. So it used to be copycat trying to cop my glamour. Fuck all that, bitch, you can't have mine.
And get this, During her first major tours, she was still calling her mom after bad dreams. But don't get it twisted, her life hasn't been innocent. She's dealt with serious struggles. 3. Billie's been struggling with her body since age 11. At 12, she took a diet pill thinking it would help her lose weight. It just made her wet the bed. She went through periods of not eating, starving herself while dancing intensively. She said her relationship with her body has been truly horrible, terrible.
Billie Eilish is opening up about what she calls her, quote, horrible body relationship. In the March issue of Vanity Fair, the 19-year-old singer says she has always been insecure about her body. She says in her early teens, she would starve herself and take diet pills, which caused her to wet the bed. Billie says she started wearing baggy clothes to hide her figure. She also talks about being victimized online.
Now, she calls her body my ugly friend, but my friend. And all of this struggle, all of this pain, all of this uniqueness led to the biggest achievement in music history for someone her age. 2. Billie is the first artist born in the 2000s to have a #1 song on Billboard.
I'm the bad guy.
At 18, she won all 4 major Grammys in one night. Best New Artist, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year.
Billie Eilish! When we fall asleep, where do we go?
Producer, Phineas
Bad guy Billie Eilish.
Producer, Phineas
Only one other artist ever did this, Christopher Cross in 1981. She's the youngest person to win 2 Oscars. She didn't just break into the industry, she shattered it. 1. Remember how I said Billie uses scent to remember things? She asks fans to bring their personal perfumes to shows and tell her the stories behind them. It's her way of remembering people and moments on tour. Every bottle has a story. Every scent has a memory. That's Billie Eilish, the girl who sees music in colors, remembers people through smells, and turned every obstacle into rocket fuel. So there you have it, 20 facts that actually matter. Not she likes avocados or her favorite color is black. This is the real Billie Eilish. If you learned something new, smash that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives. And drop a comment. Which fact shocked you the most? I'll see you in the next one. Peace.